What's up? This is Bacon is my podcast. I'm Jimmy.
I am Mike.
And we are proud to be part of the Deluxe Edition network. That is right, the Den.
That's right, hashtag the Den. We are part of an awesome network with a number of fantastic podcasts, such as History I'd Like to Fuck, or HILF Podcast, Barrel Age Chicks, Barrel Age Flicks, Spoil My Movie, Deluxe Edition Podcast. Man, I could go on forever.
You could, but we won't, so you can go
Beard
watch.
Laws.
Go listen, go watch, check them all out now.
In a
Deluxe
pickle.
Edition Network.
Right now, deluxeeditionnetwork.com. Follow it on social medias, Deluxe Edition Network.
What's your bacon? What's up, buddy?
Ew. I know it's cold.
Indeed.
So you want to get the sweaters going.
No. I reject that. And I'll tell you why.
Why would you do that?
Well, you don't put gloves on furry hands, do you?
Well, no.
No, you don't. So you know what? I like to keep my beanbag clean like my palms.
Yes.
That's right.
The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is out now. It's got the skin-safe technology you used to. It's got the LED light like you used to. But this one, it's got the foil blade.
Oh my god, the foil blade. It's nice for the crevasse.
Exactly. So it, hooks up your nether regions.
Goes right up the Mississippi on the one side and the Rio Grande on the other side.
Exactly. So go to manscaped.com, use the promo code BACONPOD for 20% off, plus free shipping.
Yeah, indeed.
And it's not even just for this, right?
No, it's for anything on there.
Exactly, especially
our favorite,
the crop mops, the ball and butt wipes. If you see us, we always give them out.
We'll hand them to you.
Exactly.
They'll be in the package, it's okay.
If you don't see us, manscaped.com, promo code BACONPOD, 20% off of those bad boys.
Free shipping.
And always remember to ask yourself,
what's your bacon?
So, actually, 3 days ago, as we're recording this, was the 14-year anniversary of me getting engaged.
Was it really?
It was.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
I did so at Mohegan Sun Arena in Pennsylvania at this gentleman's show. It was a headlining show.
Right? Oh, damn. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 3 Days Grace, Chevelle, I think there was somebody else, and Flyleaf. And my wife and I are we're big Flyleaf fans. And
yes, walked down the aisle to an amazing
we did
version.
A piano version.
Yes.
Yeah, we hired somebody to play.
Nice.
But we got engaged there at the show. It's a fun story. We won't tell it on the air. But it's a fun story. And so today on Bacon is My Podcast, we welcome Adam from Saint Asonia, formerly of 3 Days Grace. Dude, thank you for joining us.
And a part of your engagement.
And a part of my engagement.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
Almost 14.
Of course, man.
Well, a little more than 14 years ago.
Thanks for having me. That's crazy. That's wild. Did you come on stage or no? Was it just it was something? Yeah.
No, we were just out in the pit. I did it actually. The Loeffler brothers were down there. They saw it and they took pictures with me. And some of the guys from Breaking Benjamin were there because I guess it was pretty close to where they are in Pennsylvania. Yeah. So this is like old Breaking Benjamin, not the new cast of characters. But
nice.
Yeah, it was
very cool.
It was a fun night. It was a fun night.
Sick. Nice.
And also
awesome.
we talked about Waffle House.
Yes.
And the reason why it turned into a not so great next day is because of Waffle House.
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. I've heard that before. That's not the first time I've heard that. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm actually really excited to have you on because I've been following your career for quite some time. And you've always been not even just from a band respect, but as a songwriter.
Majorly too. I as well.
Yeah. Like you have you opening up and sharing some of the stuff that you've gone through and whatnot. It's really inspired me a lot and my songwriting a lot. So it's really cool that I get to thank people like that on the show.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate that, man. Of course, yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, man, really excited to have you, and you're about to hit the road with your band Saint Asonia, which you got a pretty extensive lineup going on. You got 4 different bands that you're gonna be doing co-headliners with Blackstone Cherry. You've got Kingdom Collapse on it, Any Given Sin on the bill. So, I mean, like, what are you most excited about getting back on the road? Are you going to be playing any new material? What's the plan here? What do you got going on?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to play. We spent most of last year touring with Skillet and Theory of a Dead Man, and those tours were pretty big venues. They were mostly like arenas, and we were on first, so our set was about a half hour. So I'm looking forward to playing for longer and putting in some new stuff and maybe a couple older songs that we have never played, and just playing for longer, and the venues are obviously smaller. They're not arenas, but they're more like theaters and maybe bigger clubs and that sort of thing. So I'm looking forward to that. We just haven't done the smaller venue thing in quite a while, so we're really looking forward to it.
Do you ever find it harder to make that shorter set? Like the longer of a career that you have and the more songs that you have that people are going to want to hear, and the more you're wanting to play and incorporate new things and stuff. How is that for you? Like when it's like, okay, we got 30 minutes. Are you just like, okay, do you like set on 30 minutes and then you do the same set every night? Or do you like, okay, let's revolve so we can kind of get everything in? Or what's your method? Because I know a lot of people do it different ways.
Yeah, we did it. We did set a set list that we did every night was pretty much the same. But yeah, it was tough because I always like to do a few or a couple 3 Days Grace songs because I know some people want to hear that. So it's when I'm putting those ones in, it gets to be a little bit tough with a half an hour set because there's a bunch of Saint Asonia stuff that I want to do as well, and then it's tough to pick which ones. But yeah, no, the longer set, this hour and a bit that we'll be doing on this next little run will give us an opportunity to play some stuff that we didn't on the last tour, so should be good.
I think it's very cool that you do embrace that playing a couple of songs from 3 Days Grace and Stained and stuff in your sets. I think that's really cool. What made you so open to that? Because I know there are some artists that are like, no, that's
right. No, that's old stuff.
That's old stuff. There are bands now that won't play old stuff.
Yeah,
they won't play their own record stuff that they're under that name. What made you make that conscious choice of going, okay, we're gonna play some of those tunes?
Well, it was that band 3 Days Grace was a huge part of my life, and I wouldn't have really had the opportunity that I have now with a new project if it wasn't for that. So I'm definitely highly aware of the fan base. There's a lot of 3 Days fans that enjoy hearing me sing that stuff. So and I love those songs. I love a lot of that stuff that we did. So just being a big part of my life and trying to wanting to make some of the fans happy too. Getting them to hear some stuff and
So I had a quick songwriting question, just even kind of feeds into kind of you bringing up getting engaged at the show. And I'm at this point, I'm sure that's happened a number of times. You're even like, did you come up on stage because you've had those experiences? And at this point, I'm sure that you have people often coming up to you and saying, these lyrics mean this to me, or this helped me through a time, or things like that. Can you remember back to like the first time as a songwriter, the first time that someone came to you and said like, man, this thing that you wrote really affected me and really had a impact on me. You know, can you think back and remember that first couple of times maybe, or that first time that happened to you?
Kind of, it's a little bit hard for me to remember the actual first time, but I do
Right.
remember early on, shortly after we had put out 1X and we were playing a festival. I can't remember exactly what festival, but we had a meet and greet before our set where people were just coming through and we were signing stuff and saying a quick hello. And I was just blown away with the number of people that had told me, and it was different songs too, like from that album that had gotten them through. I mean, a lot of it was feeling depression and feeling suicidal, and the songs help them with those feelings and getting through that. So yeah, I just remember that individual, that specific festival. There were so many people that were saying the same thing to me over and over, and it got really overwhelming in a great way, you know.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, and we still hear it all the time, and always get messages from people on social media just talking about what songs have gotten them through this, and it's pretty wild. And that's I mean, that's a huge part of doing what doing what I do, of getting, just having people relate to it on their
Right.
own, in their own world, is really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? To think that something that maybe you did to help yourself through things.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
can only speak for myself as a writer, but like I've said on the show before, like I write songs so I don't drive off bridges, you know, like in a tongue
Hmm.
in cheek jokey way, but it's very like that's gotten me through a number of things. And
Hmm.
it's got to be so amazing, crazy though. It's got to trip you out a little bit, but then also be amazing to think like, oh man, like one, I'm writing this thing for me, and it's translating to people that I've never met, and it's becoming
Hmm.
a thing that's bigger and different than what I even thought it was going to be. But then it also
Hmm.
the other side of that is there has to be a huge comfort in like it helps you not feel alone in the world either. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you're writing stuff and
Yeah.
you're like, nobody gets this, and then when people do, you're like, I'm not alone. People do
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
You know what I
For
mean?
sure, man. For sure. Yeah, absolutely. And it's a bit of it's a strange feeling because, when, like you said, when I'm writing the songs and stuff, it's all to, try to get myself through something or to get certain feelings out. And then, yeah, hearing people after the fact say it helped them get through this and this is what it means to them. It's almost like it's a strange feeling because I almost feel like somewhat bad because it's like I didn't write it for that person. So
Right.
I feel like, well, I'm glad it helps, but I also at the same time feel like I didn't really do it purposely to help them. So,
Right.
but
Well, then also
yeah,
sometimes
it's
if
just
they get it, it's like, I'm sorry that you get this. I wish you didn't. I
right.
really wish you didn't
Yeah,
relate to
exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just in general, it's a weird feeling, but I'm really grateful, very grateful for just the
Well, it's,
fact that
I
it
mean,
has helped other people.
you're a very like your writing style just kind of like lends to that. I think when you listen to things, you kind of like you feel it, you get it, you understand it. The word, like the lyrics that you use are like they hit you, and you're just kind of like, oh man, I know what that is.
Right,
You know what I mean? Like maybe not I know what that's about, but more
Right.
like I know what that's making me feel like right
right.
now. And I always like I
Yeah,
love songwriters
yeah.
like that. I think that's really cool that they were able to do that. But I'm always curious as to like, do you feel pressure to be like to like open yourself up every time, or can you are you when you're writing, are you able to just still just kind of like I'm just writing and that's it?
Uh, Yeah, I think there's a little bit of pressure just with trying to keep it sort of consistent, and
Right.
definitely there was, and having success um, with a certain style or a certain way of doing
Sure.
things.
Yeah.
It's hard to not always come back to that and have that sort of in your mind. So I've actually been trying trying really hard to just kind of do what I need to do without thinking too much about how it will translate to other
Right.
people. I definitely get in a habit, and it's not. Yeah, it's a weird thing. Kind of get sucked into what other people will like, and I try to stay away from that.
Yeah, I actually, is with some of my writing, I've just recently, like, I had a conversation with my wife, and she's kind of like, why do you write some of this shit? Like, why do you write like that? Why does it always come from that spot, right? Because I mean, sometimes if things are going really well and you end up mining back to those areas, then you can get fucked up for a little while too sometimes. And she's like, why do you do that? And I was like, that's where I feel like I can get the most material out of. But just recently I decided, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna write a story. I'm gonna do a concept record and gonna write a story and do it that way. And that's been really helpful.
Yeah, I've been blown away by that. That's awesome.
Just like really, really helpful to kind of just pick at different things and approach things a different way. And it could be from the band that I have the moniker under. It could be something completely different, but I feel like just disassociating from a particular project and just going, okay, well, I'm gonna make characters and that's gonna be it. That's helped me quite a bit.
No doubt. Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, it's pretty tough to try to just branch out and just be free creatively. It's definitely tough to do that when you're in a certain sort of lane or whatever, But
Right.
I'm also trying. Yeah, still working on it. Yeah.
I know you just fairly recently moved to Nashville, and that kind of you were probably one of the first, like, in terms of rock, back in the 2010s and stuff. You were one of the first guys that was just kind of on everything. Like, you collaborated with a ton of dudes, like a ton of different bands and stuff like that. And I mean, Saint Asonia was kind of just like, fuck it, we're just going to collaborate with Mike Mushak. And so moving to Nashville, do you feel a lot of that collaboration is kind of like more fruitful there? Is there like a specific reason why you headed to Nashville?
Well, my wife has some family close in the area, but we had been talking for quite a while about moving to the Nashville area. There is a lot of, I mean, there's tons of music here, and there's a lot of writing, and there's a lot of rock. There's a lot of people from rock bands that have sort of, I guess, moved here recently, and so I think that there's a lot here. So it's nice to be able to reach out and do some outside writing with other artists and other people that live in the area. So there's a lot of it, and it's part of the reason why we came to Nashville for sure. We still have a place in Canada where we head back to in the summers and stuff, but just a lot of work and people and networking and just a lot of music and writing and everything here. So it just seems, feels right. Feels good.
Yeah, we've definitely heard that, like, the scene for rock has blossomed quite a bit in Nashville over the past number of
2 or 3
years.
years.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. Like, it's awesome. Just the last time we were there, it was just so interesting to how, like, every musician you talk to is playing with everyone, and they're playing every style of music, and they're kind of like, it's like you're just full of people that are like masters of their craft there, which is got to be pretty inspiring. You start
for
talking
sure.
to somebody and jamming with somebody, and it's like, oh damn, okay, cool, we can do anything.
I'm getting pretty excited because it's almost time to grill.
It's always time to grill. You know why?
I know,
because I use grillyourassoff.com. All their stuff is fucking fantastic.
Well, I will say you don't even have to grill outside, even though you do all year round. I don't all year round, but I use all their stuff inside as well.
Yes,
So I
exactly.
still get the flavors.
Exactly. Everything from their seasoning to their sauces to their hot sauces. And you know what? They also provide delicious snacks.
They do. We actually tried some on the show. We got some cowboy-style beef jerky right here. Their jerky is really, really good.
It's really flavorful, really delicious, and you can have your own. If you go to grillyourassoff.com,
Indeed.
if you go to grillyourassoff.com, use a promo code BACON, and you get 10% off your entire order.
Nice.
And not only will you be helping us out, but you'll be helping out veterans and first responders.
Yeah.
Because this company is veteran owned, and it's super badass, and we love these guys. Almost a day one sponsor with this show,
That's true.
and we are gonna support them forever. Super
Check out
cool
their
guys.
site. Check it out. Taste the freedom. If you don't know what you want to get, go ahead and use their product finder quiz.
Yes.
And set yourself up. Figure something out right now over at grillyourassoff.com.
And always remember to ask yourself,
What's your bacon?
what's your bacon?
Or what's on your bacon?
Bunker bacon bourbon barbecue sauce. That's what's up.
Hi, I'm Dawn Brody, a comedian with a history degree and the host of the podcast HILF, History I'd Like to Fuck. Each episode, I am joined by a new guest who has brought me a subject from history that they want to know more about. Then I hit the books, I dig deep in the annals, and stimulate. We've covered Frankenstein, Houdini, Joan of Arc, Pompeii, the Salem witch trials, right? Ugh. Join us and find out for yourself that history is a party and everybody's coming.
Yeah, and there seems to be a lot of sort of mixing genres too, like
Yeah.
even that
Oh, yeah.
that country and rock thing that's starting to take off a little bit more. It's pretty cool, So yeah.
Yeah. Now, in terms of collaborating, like I know that again, going back to your writing, and this is not like some of your content and the lyrical content is like some is fucking brutal, right? Like it's tough to like share that with people. How hard is it for you to collaborate with other people and open up in such a strong, like a vulnerable way?
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. It's a little different to get to meet up with somebody and sit in a room with somebody that you have never met before and try to, like you said, be vulnerable and come up with stuff. So usually for me, I work a lot with when I do some writing sessions and stuff. We'll sort of come up with mainly the music and the melodies and a basic sort of lyrical idea, and then I tend to take that with me when I leave and then bring it home and kind of sit in here and think through some of those lyrics a bit more, and then try to figure them out, lay them down as a demo, and then send them back to the co-writer. Kind of that's what I've done a few times. So it because it does get a little bit weird to try to be super vulnerable. It all depends, I guess, on what you're going for too. There's writing sessions here where the goal is to just write a hit song regardless of what it's about and what the content is. Like, write it in a couple hours and that's it. So yeah, if it's something like that for somebody else or whatever, then it's a little bit different. But anything that I'm working on for myself or the Saint Asonia stuff, it usually just kind of take some time at home with sorting out lyrics and all that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when we asked you about your bacon, you were saying that writing is definitely a big part of it. So when you're on the road, you're writing lyrics. When you're at home, you're grabbing a guitar. Do you have a preference? Do you write with music in your head first? Do you write lyrics first and then put music to it? Is there one way that you like to do things better, or is it just kind of whatever, wherever it's happening. It's happening.
Well, usually when I'm at home, I just tend to write with the guitar first. I just kind of come up with some music. It just feels like it's much easier to just come in here, sit down, and plug in the guitar and just kind of come up with stuff, and then come up with some melodies, and then maybe go back and look at what I had written in the past, like what I have written down from before, and see if anything kind of works. Yeah, so I tend to do that when I'm at home, and then on the road I'm just trying to work out lyrics and just different things.
Are you still a pen and paper person, or are you
Oh
on
yeah,
iPad? Yeah,
a
still
little
phone
bit of
up.
both, but I have the pad. Yeah, there's something there's something to be said for actually
Yeah,
physically doing it.
every bag I
Yeah.
have has a little notebook in it and a pen, and then
Mhm.
and we've talked about how every singer or songwriter, it's like, how do
Voice
you
notes.
how do you label your voice
Yeah,
memos? Are they in order? Are they or is it just chaos?
it's
Because
chaos. Mine is
it's
chaos.
singing
Yeah,
to something,
yeah,
and it's like, when the hell did this happen?
yeah.
Oh,
It's
I'm
all
gonna have these
they're
drafts.
all. Sorry, I was just gonna say, yeah, mine
No,
are
go ahead.
they're all just new recording, whatever
Right,
number it is. I mean, the odd one I'll mark it if it's like specifically something that I can, that I think I'll remember later, and I never do, right?
right,
So
right.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of new recordings on there that I have to sort through and listen. But it's kind of fun to go back and listen to what what came up with
Oh
months
yeah.
Yeah,
ago or years ago
right. You
or
listen to
what.
something, you're like, that's me. I don't
I
remember
don't
It-
remember
even a
that.
little of that.
yeah. I just hear myself like humming some weird melody and while I'm
Right,
driving in the truck, and I'm like, what is that? It's just
right.
garbage.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'll
I,
do something on, I'll
Yeah.
hear my voice go like this on a bass, and then I'll be humming something.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I get a lot of the addresses that I'm at,
Right.
or
Yeah. Yeah.
close proximity to those addresses, and I'm like,
Right.
when did I have like, if I'm away like on a vacation with my family or something, I'm like, when did I have time to like go and do this? And also,
Right.
why did I think it was so important to go somewhere to do this?
I'll occasionally, if I'm being smart about it, I'll occasionally put what tuning I'm in, because that I've run into the problem of like, I work at a school of rock, so I teach guitar and vocals and everything. So there I'm always in like standard tuning, and then my band's always a half step low. And then when I'm at home, I have things randomly
Yeah.
just to try different sounds. And
Mhm.
I'll go back and try and figure out how to play something, and I'll be like, I don't even know where to start with this. I don't even know how my hand doesn't do this. What is, so I've been like,
I've
this is the tuning.
same thing, man. Yeah, yeah, I do. I've done so many. So like I have open tunings on a bunch of different
Right.
guitars here, or just different tunings. I'll even have like just something that's not even an actual tuning. It's just, you know.
Right.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
It
I've done
just
that.
sounds
Done that a
good.
bunch of
Yeah.
times where I've come back and tried to record a part, and it sounds great on my voice memo. Like it sounds like it's a great part. I have
Right.
no idea how to play it, So
Yeah.
so I'm thinking I'm gonna have to send this to maybe the producer that I work with next and be like, can we just
Right.
dump this voice memo into the track and then make it sound
Right.
good or something? Because I don't know how to
We're gonna
play
have to MIDI this. We're gonna have to-
it. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I
But
do
thank God
riffs,
for
yeah.
voice memos. Yeah, because
Yeah. Yeah.
that like age when we were first starting out and when I was younger writing, so I mean I had to have a tape player or something,
Yeah.
just
Yep.
or we had the Zoom recorder for a bit there. And it started to get into the digital stuff, but yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
man,
it's real
the
nice
trusty
now.
the trusty Tascam.
Or you record it on your
Yeah,
phone, like you'd call yourself.
or that, yeah, leave a voicemail.
Record it. You give yourself a voicemail.
Yeah, I've done
I
that.
did that.
Yeah,
I did that a few times.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing. That is definitely a thing.
Hmm.
So earlier we were talking about yeah, we have a crack team of investigators that go and mine some stuff from your past interviews and past things that you've done. And you mentioned that you in a past interview that you worked at a walk place, which
Hmm.
I'm curious as to what exactly a walk place like. Is it is it like an Asian cuisine kind of place, or is it something different?
It was like a it was like a wrap, almost like a healthy sort of burrito place
Okay.
type thing, where everything's made in a wok and then tossed in a tortilla or whatever, right? It was in Toronto, and it was right when we moved to Toronto from the small town that we were in. We all had day jobs, and it was kind of like they were trying to make this little fancy-ish wrap restaurant or whatever. So yeah, I was just a day job that I had, and I became manager there, and I learned a lot about cooking. Like, I didn't know anything before that about anything. So yeah, it helped a little bit.
And now this parlayed into because I personally love, like, we both love cooking.
Yeah.
Like that's definitely for me. You know, sometimes my wife will be like I feel bad. You're like, even when I was working like 50, 60 hours a week at out of the house, I was like, come home and cook, because it shuts my brain off. It allows me to be creative. And
It's a side of bacon.
Like, yeah, it's a side of bacon for sure.
Yeah.
So is
is
that something that you've approached yourself?
Oh yeah, 100%. I basically cook every night. Yeah, and it's for basically the exact same reason. It's nice to just sort of shut everything out, and or shut off thinking about other stuff, and
Right.
yeah, and it's nice to be creative, and I like cooking good meals for my kids and my wife. So yeah, I enjoy it.
What's your so anybody that cooks, you have like one dish, right? You have at least one, but you have like your one dish that's like, yo, this is, if I make this for you,
I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one because I'm always doing different things, but
Right.
and I have been using our Instant Pot quite a bit, because it's pretty awesome.
I use it.
I mean,
all
that's
mine all
I
the
gotta
time.
get one.
Soup,
Yeah,
man. I make so
yeah.
much soup in it, and pulled pork.
Yeah,
and
you
stuff.
can literally make anything in that. It made
Yeah.
I have been going back to an Instant Pot lasagna that been making that's
okay.
pretty good. So
Nice.
yeah. Yeah, but it's a tough one. I do a lot of, if I'm not using the Instant Pot, I mean, stir fry, doing different kind of stir fry things, and just experimenting with different things. But yeah, I've been doing baking too. I've been making cookies and making
Nice.
muffins and all sorts of stuff, man.
That's one I could never do, man.
Jen's got the baking game on lock when it comes
you
to
gotta
the
be
house.
so precise. I can't. That's
Right.
when my brain shuts down.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I know how to use a measuring cup. I'm not like completely inept, but then as I'm doing it, I'm like, really? That's it. And then nothing
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, I mean, I've just started it, just experimenting with making different cookies and different things just for fun.
Right.
And there's one one batch that I actually forgot to put baking soda in, and I thought that'll be fine. They weren't. It's not good. Yeah. So it's not like cooking a dinner where you forget something, you're like, it's gonna be fine. It's not like
Right.
I forgot baking soda, and they were like sponges. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah. So it's not as fun, but it you can whip something up pretty quick, which is kind of nice.
flexes a different muscle.
Right. You can get creative with your
That's true.
toppings
Yeah.
when you're baking, like on
Yeah.
top of your cookies or brownies or something.
Yeah.
Flaky
Yeah.
sea
I'm
salt.
not a
and
great-
some- Yeah.
Not a great baker, and yeah, I'm just starting to try a few things, but I don't think I won't stay there in that lane very, very long. I don't think.
Yeah, I think for me, I do have to get an Instapot, because he talks about it literally.
So good.
I'm gonna say just about every week that we get together.
Right.
So I'll make something and it was so good.
And sometimes like we'll trade off stuff. I'll be like, oh, I made brisket, and he's like, oh, I made chicken soup, and so we do that trade off thing. I gotta get I've been stuck on the air fryer.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
just
those are great
my
too.
thing.
Yeah, I just did an Instant Pot minestrone last night. It was
nice.
top shelf.
Dang.
Yeah,
Very nice.
yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
I'm into that. I haven't. I gotta get one.
I did carbonara last night. I made carbonara. It was delicious. Went with
Nice.
just egg yolks. Tried something different.
Oh, okay.
Very creamy.
All right.
Not as eggy. Yeah, it's
Interesting.
very nice. It's very
Huh.
nice.
Yeah, I like that. So something I did want to talk to you about a little bit, like on your social media, you were kind of doing this thing where you were just doing little acoustic covers of songs that hearing you play The Used and like My Chemical Romance and stuff like that, especially now, because now all of a sudden all that stuff is like back,
Right.
and then you know,
Well,
like,
it's classic rock now,
right, yeah, sure.
which breaks my brain.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't work for me.
No.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, just going to all these,
compute.
Right.
exactly. We're going to all these like 20 years of the X album. I'm like,
Right.
what? That's ridiculous. But
Mhm.
so like, do you plan on doing any more of those? Do you have some in the bank that you haven't put out there yet? Like, it seems like you got a little bit of momentum behind it, and then you kind of fell off a little bit.
Yeah, sorry, I lost you there for a minute. I'm not too sure what happened, but I think you're just wondering what happened to the acoustic covers that I was doing for a bit there.
Yeah, because it seemed like you kind of stopped doing them, but I was just wondering if you had others in the can or plans to bring it back or anything like that, because it seemed like it was gaining some momentum.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I love doing covers. I've always done that, like from when I learned to play or whatever, was always playing other people's songs, and I love doing that stuff. And I think I stopped because I had done one right before we went out on tour last year, for the Rock Resurrection tour. I think I had done one just before we left, and then I didn't do it again while we were on tour. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I just hadn't done them, but I love doing it, and plan on doing some more for sure. I think I might have a couple that I recorded in my computer here somewhere. So yeah, I gotta go through a bit, but I'd like to do a few more for sure. I actually just recorded one of ours, an acoustic thing for our new single, our new song Wolf. Did like a little breakdown, sort of really mellow acoustic one. I might put that up here shortly.
Nice.
Hey, it's
Mike.
me. I'm the problem. It's me.
I don't think you have a problem. You know what the problem is? Nobody knows where to find us online. That's the problem.
Well,
They're
I think there's.
Sometimes I go to YouTube. Sometimes I want to go to Spotify. Sometimes, how do I know where I can find everything bacon?
You know what there is? There's one place that has everything, all encompassing. It's baconismypodcast.com.
A solution.
Exactly. You ever want to listen to our music?
Yeah.
Or know where to find us on YouTube?
Yeah.
Or on Apple Music?
Yeah.
Spotify?
Yes.
Maybe grab some shirts?
Check
Find
out
some-
sponsor.
Find some sweet deals on some sodas from drinkwildbills.com? Or maybe some beard product from Mythical Beards?
Maybe you want to pick up a Poddex.
Use the promo code BACON on all of those websites and get 10% off. But if you can't remember that, just go to baconismypodcast.com, hit sponsors. You're right there.
Yeah.
Tells you everything.
Find everything about us. Leave us a comment. Ask us a question. And always remember to ask yourselves every single day,
What's your bacon?
what's your bacon?
Yeah.
I always love hearing, like, I love when I hear a band put out a song that is a big rock, that's that big production rock song, and then hearing a stripped down version of it, because I always kind of like, I imagine that, to me, I'm like, oh, this is the mark of a song's, on if it's a really good song, is if you can take everything away from it and it's just a vocal, a guitar, you've got the melody, and if it's still a great song, then it's like, yep, that's a great song, there it is.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Yeah, I've always had the same sort of same feeling. Like if you can break it down and just play with the guitar, and I mean, it's definitely a good measure of the song. If you can,
you
if
got
it needs
something, right?
if it needs a lot of stuff, yeah, exactly. If it needs a lot of stuff, then yeah, maybe it's not great.
Right.
Yeah, that'll happen. That'll
Sometimes
It could be great in a
it-
different way, though. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good to be able to do that, though. It's good to be able to kind of like, are you able
Yeah.
to do that? Are you able to like look at your own stuff objectively, or are you like super close to it and you need like a producer or someone else to go, hey, let's back off this part, or like, how are you with that?
Yeah, no, I really do rely on a producer or some outside ears, because I tend to bring a lot of stuff that I've had for a long time to the table, and I'm just so used to hearing it one way, and I think it's great, and I think it's
Right.
done, and I'll bring it, I'll show it to the other band guys or producer or something. They'll be like, nah, like, really? It's not that good. It's not as good as I thought it was, right? But it's just because I've heard it,
Of course, yeah.
55 times. So it's just, yeah. So I'm great with having other people listen and give me some input, and make it a bit better.
Yeah, I that's something we've been kind of like talking about a lot with like finding that inner circle of people when you're first writing something, and just like trusting them with it. And there's certain people you'll bring it to. Like, I know who I can bring something that's pretty close to produced, and they're gonna nitpick, okay, well, this sonically needs this sonically needs that.
Right.
And like he's got a friend who's just brutally honest about, like, you got to bring it at square one, because
yeah, I bring him the songs before I ever bring him into a studio, because by then I can't bring him anything that's that far done.
right.
because he's gonna go to like the source.
Right.
He's gonna be like, your melody's shit. You're like,
Mhm.
I've heard your melody 10 times from you. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. It's tough to find that level of being comfortable with the
Right.
stuff that you worked on. And early on, when I was first writing music and we first got our record deal and stuff, like in the early 2000s with 3 Days Grace, it was, it was, I was sort of wading through those waters too, because there was a bunch of songs that I had written that I just brought to the table, and then they just got torn apart, picked apart. Good parts were
Right.
taken out and put into this song, and that was a pretty I don't know, it was tough, and then there was a big part of me that didn't want to continue bringing music to the table at all that I had written in the past, just for that reason.
Well,
So
Yeah, you feel like your stuff's gonna get torn apart. You're like, maybe I'm not gonna show it to you.
yeah, I mean, you were
Yeah.
also, I mean, you were like 3 Days Grace was on Jive Records, and they had, like Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake and like massive pop appeal on the record record label. I
Yeah.
mean, of course, you had other rock bands on the record label, but you got people that are overseeing these major pop stars. Like, that must have been a very, like, I remember the first time I was in a room with a producer that was just tearing everything apart, and I was just like mortified. I was just like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I don't know if I should do this anymore. Like, this is okay.
Right.
I don't think I like
I'm not
this.
cut out for this.
I don't think I like this as
Okay.
much as I thought I did.
I mean,
Yeah.
how intimidating is that for you, or was that for you?
We got really lucky with Jive Records. They were a really small, a fairly small label. They were an independent label, even though they had massive pop stars, the biggest in the world at the time, and they didn't have a lot of rock bands. I think they had like 3 maybe, and but the A&R guy, the A&R guy that worked with us was amazing, and he was a rock guy, and he loved. He had been around for so long and just done a great job with a lot of different rock bands. His name was Michael Tedesco, and he was so good with us, and we really got lucky that we were able to work with him. He was just really great at his job. Let us do what we wanted to do, but also had a great ear. So he'd come in and just give us a little bit of feedback here and there, but we never felt too much pressure to try to I don't know, to lighten things up or make things different, you know, for the label or anything like that. So yeah, it wasn't that bad that in that sense. It was more the getting in the studio, yeah, with a producer and stuff. That was kind of where the stuff tends to get pulled apart, and you know.
Now, what's your
But that's just
process
part
like
of it.
now? Like, how has it changed, or how have you altered how you go into it, or what's different now in the way that you kind of do things?
It's kind of the same. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just we just don't spend as much time in the studio because because the whole climate has changed and there's not as much money,
Sure.
you know, for budgets and stuff, and you don't really need to go into a big world-class studio for a month or whatever. So now it's just, you know, really try to work on a lot of stuff at home, and then I'll send pieces of that to our producer before we end up in the studio. And then there's usually a couple songs that we'll write while we're in the studio. We'll try to take a couple days to just spend that time working on a new song or something like that. But it's just not a lot different in the sense that I still have a bunch of kind of ideas that are basically there, like the bones and everything, and I'll take it in and then get some feedback from everybody and try to get everybody stoked about it, and you know, go from there.
Do you still get in a room with a few of the members, or anybody or everybody, and kind of like try and hammer something out from there? Or is it more an approach of like, hey, I'm going to send you an idea, you send me back an idea, and then at some point we'll get together and try and flesh it out?
Yeah, it's more that you know, because we don't actually live in the same town, so we you know, I'm in Nash and they're up in Canada, and so it's more or less just we'll send some ideas back and forth. But once we all do collectively get together at the studio, it's kind of when we will try to like lock it, you know, just block out a day or two or three to sit and do that kind of stuff, just so everybody can get, you know, get their ideas out there and any ideas they have for anything.
Sure.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
we again our dynamic is a lot of like I'll do a lot of that. Like I'll sit behind a computer and write stuff, and then he's more of the like get in a room and bang on some instruments with some dudes for a little while.
Right.
And I don't. I'm trying to think, like the last time I really did that was years and years ago, and I just remember being so like disjointed by the process.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you got, you know, there's sometimes members that like don't have anything to bring to the table, or stare at you and go, okay, so what did you bring? And it's like, what do you mean? What did I bring?
Okay, we've looped that riff for 7 minutes.
I feel like this way is like more productive, but
where's it going?
Yeah. The magic. I get your point of the magic.
I still like sweating it out in a small room. with
bunch
of dudes.
Yeah.
But like, I need to learn more of the other way of doing things, you know. Like,
but do you miss those days at all, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, early on when we were writing the first few songs for the first 3 Days Grace record, sort of before we actually got our like our big record deal, we had a development deal with EMI Publishing, where so we were able to just sort of spend time like quit our day jobs and spend time working on music just 24/7. So yeah, when we were doing demos, we had the same producer, Gavin Brown. He was producing our demos and then produced our first album. But so yeah, we would all sit around in the studio at EMI and just bang out, you know, the same guitar riff over and over until, you know, coming up with different things. And yeah, so I mean, I kind of miss that, but I still try to do that. Still try to find a balance between the, you know, just remotely sending ideas back and forth, and then hopefully get in a room. And when we're touring, it's quite a bit easier to sit with guitars and ideas, because everybody's there and they're in, you know, everybody's in, you know, full music mode. So yeah, it's a good
check
thing
songwriting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, you know, it's nice to be able to do both, you know, balance them both out.
Yeah, I love that. Well, Adam, we've taken up a lot of your time.
Yes,
And
thank you for
we
it.
do
appreciate
appreciate you hanging
Of
out with
course,
us
man.
and talking shop with us. It was really cool. Again, like for me, it's awesome that I get to do that and you get to do that with
Yeah.
like people that we actually looked up to while we were doing that. Like,
Yeah.
for me to be able to like thank people like you and like Nick Coyle and stuff like that. It's all like really cool to me. So, dude, thank
Awesome,
you.
man.
Thank you again.
Yeah, of course. I
have
really
sung your songs
appreciate
on
that.
stage. I have sung your songs on stage before. That's an awesome.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
It's good. It's
I
good.
did
Yeah.
I did a medley with I think it was "Want to Be Loved," "Just Like You," and "So Cold,"
Nice.
all in a medley.
Solid.
Yeah,
Nice.
Papa Roach, 3 Days Grace, and Breaking Benjamin.
It's a solid.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah,
But
I like
yeah,
that.
See, now you got to record that and you got to put it out.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, is there footage of that? We gotta see that.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know. I'll try and see. I know we did it in Jersey. We did this like little stint in Jersey where we actually went to the Clerks, like the shop
Right.
that was shot at, because we went to Jay
Yeah.
and Silent Bob's secret stash. And
Over the quick stop.
well, it was funny. We go in there and we're like, "Hey, how far is the quick stop?" And the clerk behind the counter was like, "Hold on," and he just drops. Like you couldn't see him behind the counter, and we were like, "Where'd this dude go?" And he pops back up and he goes, "Try not to drink all the Gatorade." And he takes this piece of paper and slaps it on the desk, and he was like, "It was directions to go to the quick stop from there, from the door of Secret Stash." So I know there's pictures of that, but we'll see. I'll have to check.
All right.
I dig something up.
Yeah.
I would like to see that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Adam, before we head out here, let everybody know where they can find everything Saint Asonia and
Yes.
you, of course.
Yeah, man, we're all over social medias. I'm on Instagram. The band's on Instagram. Everywhere. The website, all that stuff. You can get us
Go see
anywhere.
him live.
Yeah.
They're about to go on the road. Go see him live.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, we're on the road this year for quite a bit of this year. We're going out with Blackstone Cherry here shortly, and then out with Stain and Seether after that. So we're going to spend some time out on the road. So hopefully we'll see everybody out at the shows.
Seeker too, I think.
And if you're front row,
Is that
while I'm
right?
singing, just hold up a little garden creature. I'm not going to say the name of it because
It'll disgust him.
he doesn't like the word.
Don't say it.
But just hold it up. Just hold it up. Just hold it up so he sees it.
All right.
And he knows.
If it starts seeing gnomes out on the road, I'll hit you guys up, and I'll send them. I'll send them via FedEx right to your door.
Nice.
Yeah.
Adam, thank you so
Yeah.
much. And guys,
Thanks, man.
always remember, ask yourself one super important
Remember,
question,
everybody,
right?
every day, ask yourself, what is it for you? What is your what is your line in the bunk writing songs? What is your food preparation, your cooking? What is your thing that makes your day a little bit better? Everybody that's listening, remember to ask yourself that one question every single day to make your day better. What's the question, Mike?
Adam, do you remember what that question was?
What is your bacon?
Yes.
He knows. What's your bacon, guys? Thank you so much.
What's up, fam?
Yeah.
Bacon listeners? Ever wanted to help out the show? Ever wanted to know a little bit more about what goes on behind the scenes here at Bacon?
Perhaps keep these glasses a little bit fuller.
Mine's empty.
Yeah. Go over to patreon.com/baconismypodcast where you can get additional content, including tastings.
Yeah, you can get cooking shows.
You can get early ad-free shows.
That's right.
And at even the lowest tier, come participate with us every week in our discussion and drinks episode where we hang out with you, our BIMP squad.
You're a part of the show. Join us, hang out, weigh in on everything that we're talking about, weigh in on everything, maybe be a part of the show.
Exactly.
It's happened.
Join the BIMP squad.
Yeah.
Get your first week for free over
right
at
now.
patreon.com/baconismypodcast.
What's your bacon?
Are we doing intros? We're just doing the outro, right?
I'm sorry, the outro.
I didn't know if things were changing.
Things are changing.
Things are changing. It's a weird day.
Yeah, it's
It's an
a
off
Friday.
day. We're on a different day.
we
messing my brain up.
yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
But it's not weird because we had a good time talking with an amazing songwriter who I appreciate.
Chat songwriting with
Adam Gontier.
Great. The great. I didn't know how to pronounce his last name.
I put it in the notes there.
I know. I didn't see that
Gontier.
until like just now when I went back up to the top of our notes. I was like, "Oh, you phonetically put that there." And I didn't say his last name once because
I bet he noticed.
Because I didn't
say it either.
I didn't want to say it wrong.
I didn't say it either because my iPad's a little further than it usually is. And I didn't want to look and go, Adam, what's his name? So, but yeah, dude,
it was really cool.
I
didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah. I am dude, it was really cool to pick his brain, tell him some fun stories and
Yeah, I
talk shop.
The just you getting engaged at his show, that was cool. Like I didn't know that. That was awesome. That was a fun little tidbit to pop in there.
Yes, sir.
It's nice.
Yeah. So guys, go check out Saint Asonia out on tour this spring.
Check out the new song or new-ish song, Wolf.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll have an acoustic version of it up by now.
Yeah, I hope so.
On his own stuff.
Fingers crossed. So
don't say gnomes.
Don't say gnomes around him, or do say gnomes around him.
Do definitely say gnomes around
him. Yeah, that's an opposite thing. Go kiss your grandmother kind of thing.
Adam the Gnome Gontier.
Oh. Wow. Wow, he will not like that.
He will not like that. Yeah. No one will say it. No one's gonna say that. No one ever. That's all right.
Yeah. But guys, thank you so much for listening.
Hope you enjoyed it.
If you did enjoy it, do one super important and really, really helpful thing for us, give it a like, give it a subscribe, give it a share, give it a follow. Go over to Bacon Is My Pod at Bacon Is My Pod on all social media platforms. Give us a follow, give us a like. All those things cost you nothing and help us a great deal. Give a review.
Yeah. If you didn't like it,
if you didn't like it, give it a review.
Tell us why. Tell us why you didn't like it.
But give us a bad review.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
Give us a thumbs down.
Exactly. Absolutely.
But
say why.
Yeah.
Don't
just half-ass a thumbs down.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah. That's even.
You can half-ass a thumbs up.
Yeah. You can. You don't have to tell us why you like something.
Yeah.
We know there's far too many reasons.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? If you dislike something, this is probably just like one or two.
Right. And let us know.
Probably me and you.
Yeah, right.
Right. I liked everything except for the two of you.
Except for the two hosts.
Except for the hosts.
That's the real weak spot.
There. Yeah, that's where we're losing me. That's
amazing. Jimmy, where can they find you and all your things?
All my things. Me personally, Jimmy G Shoes on all the socials. My band Craving Strange at cravingstrange.net. That'll take you to all of our socials. We got music coming out. We got stuff happening. So we'll let you know about it. And you can always find my stuff and me over at baconismypodcast.com, where you can check out our merch. You can check out, you can send us a message. You can see where our shows are, whatever streaming service you like. You can jump over to our sponsor page, get some deals on some cool stuff from you've seen it, Manscaped and Wild Bills, yeah, all that kind of stuff. So definitely check all that out. But yeah, you can find me there too. So find me.
Yeah.
Hashtag what's your bacon, so I know that you're finding me through here.
Exactly.
Right?
And also don't forget about our joint venture. Bacon Is My Passion.
That's true.
Which has some music that we're working on. We're reworking on some stuff. We're going to be re-recording some stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. Bacon Is My Passion on all streaming platforms. But also, you can find me personally at me, my own self, Mike. I'm working on a concept record. It was supposed to be 8 tracks. I added a 9th.
There's going to be 11 before it's done.
Yeah, we'll see.
Conceptually.
Yeah. It's growing. It's becoming a thing. It's really cool.
It's awesome.
But also I'm like,
so awesome.
I like to finish something because I'm so used to just finishing.
Right.
And
I think that's a good exercise for you.
But
then,
it's
to not.
Yes. That's what I did. That's what I'm doing. So
Oh, that's gonna
letting
be
it
playing with your
happen.
brain.
It's hurting. It's hurting my.
I bet.
It's
I
hurting
bet
my
it
brain.
is.
So yeah, guys, and my band at Something Heavy Music. Something Heavy is on all streaming platforms. We are currently recording an acoustic EP, Something Not So Heavy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be fun.
Is that what you're gonna call it?
Maybe.
Because that's good.
Yeah. I think
something,
so.
Something less heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah, I like that.
Should be fun. And just keep on keeping on, people.
Absolutely.
Life's a garden.
Dig it.
Dig it. Joe Dierte.
Yeah, that's right.
Easy.
Your beard just grows in all white trashy like that?
Yeah. And the E at the end. Makes it all fancy.
Makes it fancy.
Guys, thanks for joining us. And always remember to ask yourself one super important question. What's that, Gen Z?
How do I find you on Patreon? Well, let me tell you. Go to patreon.com/baconismypod.
Nope.
Cast.
Yeah.
Damn it. What's your bacon?
World peace. Patreon.com/baconismypodcast.
Shit.